Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about CBD coming from China. Shopify is getting into the CBD game, and then a headset report. How big is the CBD market? On the line with us to help us dissect all of that is Dan Kimmis, our CBD correspondent with Good CBD Products.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm hanging out. I'm looking forward to learning, Chronic.
So Benzinga says that there's a pure global cannabis company struck a deal to produce and export CBD products from a Chinese facility. So Pure Global Cannabis became the second company last week to announce a CBD deal with the East Asian country, following on the heels of an early announcement from New Age Beverage Corp, end quote. And so they're a whole subsidiary up there trying to get some registered, licensed hemp out of China. And so this LP says, quote, "We're extremely excited to be the first Canadian LP to partner with the Chinese group seeking to develop a project of this scale in China. This strategic relationship gives us access to the resources and connections in China, and they truly share our goal of providing high quality products that are sustainable to the environment and developed using cutting edge agricultural methods." So they have 17,000 acre facility located in China's Yunnan province. That's quite a bit.
I wonder, it is time, right? And it feels like the right time, but at the same time, will you see regional biases, right? Is grown in China, is that a plus or a minus as a brand, right? And then, do you have to expose that data and all of that? I got to say, I so enjoy getting a chance to watch this all happen and be part of it.
Yeah, I would think that people are going to want to know about the soil content, heavy metal content, pollution, all of those things, and have the best terroir, wherever that may be.
Oh, okay, maybe, but now, do you find yourself, when you're looking at product in a store, if you saw a good price on a CBD gummy, as an example, would you, as an average consumer, stop and say to yourself, is this from China? I don't know.
I don't think anybody asks if their refined sugar comes from a particular country. They just want to know where it's manufactured. And it could be manufactured locally in Oregon, but all of the components or ingredients could come from overseas. So yeah, I would agree with you. I don't think people are going to have any idea, except for, people that are in the know, but maybe those brand recognitions or branding will come out either good or bad. We'll have to see. But moving on to another Benzinga article about Shopify launching CBD business in the U.S. That's absolutely going to help get the word out for additional branding, hopefully more information, what's in the ingredients, probably not where it came from. But the article says that Shopify didn't get into CBD. CBD got into retail, which is definitely true. I know that we've reported on it in the past where, companies have been shut down even after the 2018 Farm Bill allowing CBD. Companies still don't have platforms in banking, even though the Safe Banking Act passed yesterday. There's still limited platforms to be able to sell your product.
Yeah, so tricky, right? Again, the nature of one team that might have had their account shut down, 3 weeks ago, right? And the money's tied up for a little while and all of these things. And meanwhile, if you're lucky, you're another team and you just got on Shopify and you're ready to go and it feels like everything's all sorted out. Yeah, certainly every day in the market is filled with more learning, right?
Absolutely. So the platform features, if you're not familiar with Shopify, they have an online store. They have a payment system with shipping partners. They have a marketing tool. They have customization and shipping profiles, and then 2,500 apps that you can integrate into that, ultimately to try and just get more products out there. And so to kind of look at what the CBD market might look like, there's a headset report here, understanding the CBD market size. So this article goes on to say, quote, be it because of a lack of psychoactive effects or its effectiveness in pain management, CBD has become huge in the conversations of both medicinal and recreational cannabis. There's an apparent and growing interest in CBD. How can you tell? Well, Google searches about CBD have increased drastically in response to the number of new local cannabis markets, and the largest spike over the last 2 years lines up neatly with the increasing availability of hemp-derived CBD. There's several products available not only at dispensaries but also in common retail markets. Looking at Google Trends, there's just a really nice gradual increase from 0 searches in 2015 to 100. I don't really know
Oh,
like how
I
often that is, but just it's a nice little scale. It's a good graph, let's say.
I I was working on some article stuff this morning, and I actually had I'm guessing it's an AdWords ad for a CBD product pop up next to my stuff in my browser. And I mean, I stay pretty aware, and that's the first time I've seen that.
Mhm.
And first, how the heck, right? I mean, oh, really? You're a CBD company and you've managed to penetrate AdWords? Again, times are changing.
It looks like the Google Trends for search keywords may have spiked in June of this year as it's kind of come down, but I would imagine with the vape crisis and everything, it's probably gone back up. So with that, let's look at some of the more popular CBD product categories. Quote, until recently, CBD products have been the mostly tinctures, lotions, capsules, local or regional mom and pop items sold at dispensaries and often offshoots of the marijuana industry. Today, however, CBD fits into a new conception of health, wellness, and functional foods. Rising product categories includes beverages, capsules, edibles, topicals, and sublinguals. Edibles lead the pack, and capsules are at the lower end of the sales growth. However, the growth of CBD being consumed in the category show that more people are using it as a treatment or therapy and less as a recreational activity. In fact, CBD outperforms THC-heavy products in these non-inhalable categories across the board.
Yeah, for wellness, it's funny to see, right? Again, the different delivery methods that you would consider exotic ways of getting high, right? But for getting well, they kind of seem to be the answer. Personally, I'm a big fan of CBD capsules. I like them.
I really like that transdermal patch. It's helped me out a couple of times. Even recently, I had really bad spine kind of nerve pain from subluxation. That's a compression of the spine, and just broken shoulders from old football injuries and being old. That transdermal patch was amazing. Took the nerve pain away, and all the kind of aches and pains throughout my back and neck and everywhere. So definitely, I think we're seeing a lot of people using both THC and CBD for medicinal purposes. I think that's kind of shocking some people, not really some OGs. So let's dive into what the actual edible market size is. Quote, there's been significant growth. CBD edibles are not as popular as THC edibles. Brownies and blondies make up the lowest percentage of CBD infused foods that's purchased. Honey, sugars, and sweeteners make up the largest percentage of CBD-infused edibles, able to be consumed more casually and not all at once. That being said, gummies make a huge portion of CBD edibles being consumed and are on track to be as popular as THC gummies, although I think they're pretty much banned everywhere, are they not?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So what's the average price? Looking at this graph here, it kind of ranges all over the price, but in terms of like total milligrams of CBD, it looks like a huge cluster is between 0 and 200 milligrams, with the average price being around $30 for 200 milligrams. Some data shows that CBD has risen about $5 since 2015, and CBD went from only being part of 3% of baskets to about 7% of the total basket size. And so it's definitely becoming popular. Hopefully the prices will come down and reflect more sales.
Here's the thing. When you're out there in the field, what you see constantly, right, are these cheap entry, like, one-offs and this kind of thing to try and get you to sample the product. So it's hard to gauge the price because a lot of times they're used basically just as a way, for the store to make a dollar. So I dig it, but I'm a big fan of, I like buying in volume. What can I say?
Well, you'd like to maybe hear about the price of products that contain less than 500 milligrams are the equivalent of 8 cents per milligram. But if you have a high dose of something that's over 500 milligrams, it increases by only 2 cents per milligram. So economies of scale for you there. But ultimately, what does that mean? What's the future? Where is that price going to go? Quote, according to a recent market research, the CBD oil business could balloon to $22 billion by 2022. Brands as familiar as Ben & Jerry's, Coca-Cola, they're chomping at the bit to launch CBD-infused products, and stores like Walgreens, Kroger, CVS have vowed to sell them. As the popularity of CBD soars in the mainstream, consumers will become more comfortable seeking out CBD derived from cannabis and available in dispensaries. Regardless, as far as where it stands in the cannabis industry, CBD is an integral part. CBD water, CBD clothing I've seen, and I think that's just really unfortunate. I think that's really kind of a dumb product.
Right, pushed to the ridiculous. The fact is, again, from topicals and tinctures, right, and different pills and these kinds of things, it's becoming there's significant market out there. There's a lot of business to be done in that. Again, I see it all the time. The number of people that say, I tried it openly and the outcome is it's affecting my malady. Whatever it was that was bothering me seems to be different. It's too many to ignore.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in China too. That's a huge market. So if you're kind of seeing that online, not just on Shopify, but seeing countries come on online like China, that's a huge indicator that this market is about to explode. So you're gonna have to come back to the Talking Hedge and find out. With that, we're gonna roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out.